here we are.
Here we are. It's been an unconscionably long time, and that's my fault.
Don't start this again. You'll start heaping blame on yourself. It's a matter of blame and praise.
No, indeed. How you been, mate? You all right?
But yes, not bad. Of course, the last time we met in this sort of context was the last podcast we did.
Yeah.
It was very nearly Christmas time.
God, we
Christmas
don't
time.
shortchange our 3 listeners, don't we? Poor bastards. They have to wait so long for this shit.
Since then, we've had New Year.
Yeah.
Which comes hard on the heels, as it were.
Yeah.
Or does Christmas come hard? I'm never quite sure how the chronological... When people say that thing we're doing next week, we're bringing it forward. Does that mean we're
bringing it closer?
So we're putting it into the past relative to where it was?
No.
But still in the future relative to the present?
Yes, that is what they mean, yes. Yeah. They're bringing it closer to now. We're bringing it forward a week.
But if they say we're moving it back, that means we're moving it into the future.
Into the future, yeah.
If people would just use the terms future and past, or changing the date...
Well, you understand it. What's the problem?
Well, not till just now. I've blundered through life. So now it's on the...
Because I was always told... Well, not always, once, that the week began on Sunday.
Well, yes, I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it
does. So when you say,
I don't
I'll
know
see you next Saturday.
And the whole next week, this week,
yeah.
This Thursday, next Saturday. Oh, my dear. It's just better to stick to dates. Come on.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And Valentine's Day, of course, we haven't done.
Valentine's Day.
We didn't catch up on that, did we?
We didn't.
Were you tempted this year to get anyone anything? Sorry, a Messerschmitt seems to have arrived. Gone.
I didn't.
You didn't, but were you tempted? That was my question. I know you didn't.
Not tempted. I didn't write I've come close to it once in the last 8 years, I think. I did write a Valentine's Day card with to a particular person, and I wrote quite a nice little.
Oh, what did you write?
Nice little thing.
Get him off.
No, it was in... no. Her name comes into it.
Oh, I see.
But it is rather sweet. I thought it was rather sweet.
Give on a bit.
I was going to write the card and not put my name to it, to preserve the mystery and leave it on.
Right.
But then I thought, no. On the one side, high chance of embarrassment, shame, humiliation, jokes, and so on. And on the other side, tiny, weeny chance of, the desired outcome. But not really. It was like betting, one's life savings on a single figure on the roulette table. I've only had one in my life that I still genuinely don't know who it was from.
Exciting.
But I don't think it was it was after my...
Was it in my handwriting?
It was my second...
Just to annoy you.
It was my second term at university.
Oh, okay.
And it was, so the February, so it's from someone... Oh. I don't know. But love. I mean, love.
Love.
St. Valentine Day. What do you think? Do you think we should make more of it? Do you think we should make less of it? Do you think it is responsible for a few suicides every year?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
But you could say the same thing about Christmas.
Yeah, you could say the same thing about quite a few good things, couldn't you?
Or about the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, the summer used to be I used to always have my worst depressions in the summer.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, my son.
I used to love it.
Right.
Because, there's sunshine, long holidays, cricket,
Yeah.
But at the age of 12, I couldn't stand hot weather anymore.
Mm.
And it was anyway, but there we are, yes. People tend to assume, I think, that seasonal affective disorder or SAD affects people in the
just in the winter. No, but in your case, it's the reverse. Okay, love. Well, fair enough. This is a jolly little episode so far, isn't it? Fucking hell, not had one laugh. Now then, Will. I was wandering around the house the other day.
Why were you doing that?
Well, I do that from time to time. Well, I was doing some work, doing cooking or something. I wasn't just wandering about the whole house like a fucking phantom, not knowing my own way around my own house.
That's how I wander around the house.
Is it? Okay. But I was singing the words "shittity bum bum" to, I guess that's why they called it The Blues by Elton John.
Oh, is this...
Shittity bum bum, shittity bum bum, like that. And I sort of caught myself doing it and realised that I do sing around the house to myself quite a lot.
I think that's quite common among people.
Do you make up little songs, though, as you're doing stuff?
Among people who live on their own.
Right, yeah.
It seems to be...
do you do that?
Not uncommon.
I'm just trying to get reassurance that I'm not a mental case.
Actually...
What, you don't?
Well, no, I don't sing. The only time
you don't do silly voices or put on, sort of go wander around singing daft songs to yourself.
No, I do it in my head.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't usually come out.
Right, okay. Because I was putting me duck after every
line.
Every line, yeah.
Oh.
Laughing like children, me duck, living like lords, me duck, and sort of kept doing that.
Well, I mean, that's just the sort of Midlands equivalent of "ooh baby" or
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm talking about me doing it out loud. Dear listeners, obviously Will does not do this. If anyone else does this, please let me know, just so I feel less mental.
I mean, I do lots of very peculiar things.
Yeah, go on. Let's talk about your peculiar things.
When I'm on my own. I'm sure if secret cameras were put in to spy on us, I would end up looking the odder. Because there'd be quite a lot of the time. I think when I'm having ideas, or when I might be making up things like that, I don't usually articulate it. No.
Why would you be the odder?
Oh, because when I'm doing that in my head, I'm probably just sort of staring blankly.
Immobile.
Well, yeah, or doing some little repeated action, or I might have the guitar on my lap, but not be actually playing it, just be sort of repetitively tapping or something. Well, it's like worry balls, or is it worry beads?
Worry balls, yeah. You can have stress balls, or whatever.
Stress balls, those
things you squeeze,
squashy things,
yeah.
Or those, what were they called? Those things.
Fidget spinners.
It was a bit like... No, I don't think so. It was a bit like Rubik's Cubes, but not like Rubik's Cubes.
I don't know what you mean.
It was just they looked like it could be a cube. They still sell them at the works.
Right. What is it? Explain yourself.
It looks like two things. You can have two cubes, but then they open out and turn round. They open out into a sort of three-dimensional star shape. But the way they're made, they can each make it what looks like a solid cube, but they're not, because they've got four-sided pyramids.
Vaguely. Four-sided pyramids?
On the other side of each square. And so it looks like, two cubes, then you open them out, put them together, one cube. Of apparently the same size.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell, but
it's
okay.
Not...
right, but anyway, so odd things that you do. Go on. Go.
Well, I don't think I want to...
oh, come on.
Expose myself in this way.
Of course you do. Because I know you got to have your shoes in a certain way.
Well, I do like to have the right shoe, the tip of it a little further ahead. A little in advance of the left one.
Why is that?
I don't know.
There isn't a why, is there? It's just a little sort of habit.
Some of my
Oh, your shoes are lined up like that, yeah? With like the right one slightly further forward than the left one.
well, if there happens to be pairs
Yeah, if they were on a shoe rack.
adjacent. Oh, a shoe rack. They've always struck me as rather bourgeois.
Idiot.
Wow, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
But so you have to have your right shoe further forward than your left one when they're at ease, not befeated.
and preferably not touching.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't like
Why
them
is that?
touching. Well, if they're going to be touching, I'd like them to be right together. I don't want them to be there to be any non-touching bits in the between the touching bits.
Oh, I see. So you couldn't have the
completely
heels
separate-
touching, but no, the soles touching, but not the heels, as it were.
As it were, yes, that would be
That would be bad.
that would not be good. There's the curtains one.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, it has to be as you're looking at them.
Yeah.
The right curtain over the
the
left. Over the left.
I think that's an odd way round.
But I'm pretty sure that consciously comes from the way men's shirts and jackets tend to button up.
Really?
Because you're, as it were, looking down on it at the shirt buttons, the left goes over the right. But if it was a curtain, if you imagine it turned round,
Yeah.
if the curtain
I
had
get it.
buttons
Yeah,
and
yeah.
buttonholes,
Yeah.
it would go
Right over left.
right as you look at it.
Whereas I think when I had curtains, I don't have curtains in this house.
Don't you?
No, they're just blinds. But I think probably because I would pull the right one shut first, and then the left one would go over it. You see, I wouldn't maybe reach out with both and shut them together.
Well, I might do them both together, or one and then the other, but as long as
The right one goes over the left. I think that's an odd way round.
but you see, you feel it's odd.
Yeah, but I don't
So
know
you
why.
clearly have feelings about it.
Yeah, seemingly. Yeah,
You
that I
don't-
didn't
you
know.
don't-
I had
yes.
not previously acknowledged.
Yes.
Okay. What's going to happen if you didn't put it right over left? Bad shit.
Well, here we come to the to the I don't know, not the key, not the root, not the nub, nor indeed the crux of but it's an important part of the peculiar habit,
Right.
the superstition,
Yeah, the sort of self-imposed superstition.
the obsessive,
I'm trying to think if I've got any.
the obsessive compulsive
Yeah.
urge.
Have I got any things I have to do, otherwise I can't rest? I don't think there are.
I mean, some people are very fussy about the way they set out their pens, or their,
Yeah.
or their food, or something,
Yeah.
or their books.
Yeah, I don't have that. Luckily.
No,
I've got plenty of other things, but not that problem.
I vaguely, I do try to keep books together according to.
Do you?
Well, according to
Your books are always in carnage, it seems to me.
what do you mean carnage?
They're everywhere.
They're on shelves.
Some.
Where they can be, yes. They've had them all on the shelves. The shelves it wouldn't be physically possible.
No.
I do need to get some new shelving, new shelf space. And yes, some of them are in piles.
But there's a system, is there?
But when on the shelves, I try to keep them together according to author
Right.
and or subject matter.
Okay. I've not noticed.
So sort of history books, I tend to
Right.
try and keep them all together.
Okay.
Poetry, all together. But then, of course, the size question comes in. You can't really put all your big books at the top and your small ones at the
No.
bottom. That's just asking
Yeah,
for
you're asking for a topple.
you're asking for a comedy death, aren't you? Or comedy injury. It's how we would have wanted to go, crushed by the weight of his love of books. In a very literal way.
Yeah, indeed.
He's found
That'd be bad.
there with his legs and arms sticking out at the top of the fallen bookcase.
Nice. That would be great. Just to bust your door open and find you there.
Well, where the fuck are you? Been trying to get in touch with you. Oh, shit. Quick feel of the pulse.
Yeah,
No,
no, he's gone.
Right.
If only he'd bought a better bookshelf.
And hadn't insisted on putting all those encyclopedias at the top.
At the top. What a wally. So, books are organised. Any other sort of OCD things that you'd like to...
I wouldn't say that is OCD.
No.
On my part.
No, that's reasonable.
That term is overused, I think.
Yeah, okay.
People sometimes... I remember the first time I heard it. I think I was reading an article. It was in 1989.
Was that the article when you had to reread it 3 times? So the world didn't end?
Yes. It was... Well, I used to... Are you sure we haven't done this before? My thing about even numbers and odd numbers... And touching things a certain number of times.
No, we haven't done that.
No.
We might have done, but let's do it again.
Yes, let's recycle some classic material.
Go on.
Well, I used to... I mean, from when I was quite young, 7, 8... 8, 9, perhaps. I don't know. It wasn't when I was very young. It was usually to do with touching things or picking things up, like my pencil at school.
Yeah.
I would... Sometimes it would be... I'd have to do it an even number of times. So rather than just pick up my pencil and start drawing, I'd just pick it up, put it down, pick it up. That would be okay.
Okay.
But then at some point, it changed to odd numbers.
Right.
Don't
so
know
it's
how.
meaningless.
No, this is the sort of...
Yeah.
This is where it starts to get a bit... You just have this conviction, this feeling that you ought to, touch everything that you touch an even number of times.
Yeah.
But, no one's told you to do it.
No.
There's no logical reason for it.
But you sort of then feel like something's going to go wrong if you don't, do you?
Well, yes. And you've sort of decided, but it's not really a conscious decision.
No, okay.
I mean, I don't imagine people consciously decide to become compulsive. What's a... people...
Gamblers or something.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Or to marry a bridge or something. Yeah, or to sleep with a car. It's just one of those things that sort of creeps up on you.
Well, just all these habits that we have. I don't suppose...
So numbers, so it's 2 because well, it
would be 2.
You have to, when you're shaking hands with someone or meeting someone, you have to touch them twice, don't you? Well, that's what you told the judge. Go on.
That was when I was in one of my... And by this time I was in my first year at secondary school.
Right.
And I remember I had it... Yes, it was even numbers. Because it had... At primary school, it had gone from even numbers to odd numbers.
God, how young did you start that?
I'd say about 8, I think, when I first...
Okay.
When I was old enough to realise I was doing it and to know that it was a bit strange.
Right, yeah.
And nobody else seemed to do it, and no one... Never heard anyone saying, oh, yeah, when you have to touch things an even number of times.
It's weird, isn't it? You didn't hear someone say that.
Where it had to be multiples of 4.
It's just going up.
But no, it was multiple. Because there was something to do with 4.
Why 4?
Because that was... so I didn't... So, twice, that was okay. But if say a crayon of a certain colour...
Yeah.
Right, we're doing a colouring exercise at
colouring this Easter chick
at school.
Yeah.
It's 1980. I'm just setting the scene. It's 1980. Adam and the Ants first singles are rocking the charts, but I'm not aware of them because I'm obsessed with the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I'll watch an Elvis or an early Cliff Richard film if it happens to be on.
God, yeah.
And so say we're doing drawing, and I would, if I picked up the yellow crayon and did a bit, coloured in a bit, and then put it down, but then I'd make sure I touched it again before going on to the next, before picking up the blue crayon. What?
I don't know, I just feel bad for you.
It wasn't that obsessive. I don't know. I don't remember anyone ever noticing and saying, why are you doing that?
It took me a while to notice that you did the hand shaking thing.
I don't do that. I haven't done that for about 30, 40 years.
We've done it in my presence.
No, I haven't. When?
You've sort of accidentally hit someone or pretended to accidentally hit someone and then shaken their hand.
No, I told you that I used to do that.
Oh, did you? Okay. Have I not witnessed you doing
You haven't. No, it's your dodgy memory trying to slander me. But I remember in my first year at secondary school.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a bit embarrassing. Yeah, meeting someone because and they shook your hand because then it was.
How am I going to touch them?
How am I going? Because it's got to be an even number of times.
Right.
And I wasn't going to... So, yes, in reaching out, I would try and sort of brush the back of their hand just, in mock clumsiness as...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell, well.
And
That's hard work, isn't it?
Yes, it was like... Anyway, I sort of, coped with this.
And, do you still have it now?
The onset of... Oh, yes. But it's in less...
Okay. It's in less evil case now, is it? Okay.
No, it's not. But that when it was about 1990.
Yeah.
And I read an article in the Observer.
You found your people.
Well, no, it was an article about this condition called obsessive compulsive disorder.
Oh, I see.
And that was the first time I'd ever.
Right.
I'd heard the term.
Right. Yeah.
And in that, yes, there were cases of people who'd. There's a bloke who'd stayed inside a circle for several hours a day.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't...
It's like a way of managing anxiety, is it? Or control or something, is that it?
In a way. And then there's the showering man.
Oh, God, yeah.
The bloke who couldn't stop showering. He was on some business trip and he just couldn't... He couldn't stop showering because I think he was trying to find the right moment to come out of the shower.
Sorry, I know it's not funny.
Maybe it was, maybe he had to sort of count to the right amount of numbers.
Well, this is, he had to get the right image in his head, which is what you've talked about.
Yes, I may have.
Go on.
That would, all right, doctor.
It's just like in the psychiatrist's chair.
Fucking hell. Yes, well, it's usually to do with crossing from one space into another. Like,
what is
this weird thing that you're forcing me to talk about in front of our
only because I think it's interesting.
You think it's hilarious.
I just feel bad for you, but I mean it's
comedy gold.
Go on.
Well, it's like leaving the house,
right?
Or getting on a train or off a train.
Yeah,
it's this. Yeah.
Moving from one place to another place.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it can be from moving from one room to another.
Okay.
And
what do you have to do?
Well, it's all right if I'm sort of unselfconsciously going about business.
Yeah.
But then if it occurs to me and I think, oh, mustn't have the wrong image in my mind, and then I have, so I have to get the right image in, but then sometimes I have to have the wrong image again to neutralise it, and then have the right image. So you might see me sort of going upstairs.
Yeah,
I might go upstairs. It would look like to the outsider.
Yeah,
I sort of go onto the first step. Stop. Go back into the room. Step up on the step again. Go on and do this about 4 times for no apparent reason.
What sort of thoughts do you have to move from one space into another?
I don't think we need to
go
into that.
Okay. All right. But yeah.
But as I say, you wouldn't... I sort of allow myself special dispensations. I do have that.
Right.
I don't want to say power.
What do you mean? If it's your birthday or something?
No, if I'm with people and it would obviously look mad then that's okay. I'll sort of work out some way of... Well, a New Year.
Yeah. Go on.
No,
come on. I can cut it. Go on, just tell me.
Well, because you're moving from one year to another.
Okay.
So when you're bringing the countdown to...
right, okay.
Sometimes I think, I mustn't have a bad image in my head because that would carry over into the year.
Oh, well.
Again, it's all right. So this is why I don't like come back to the point.
Yeah.
The way the term OCD is used to mean nothing more than fussy.
Right, okay.
Or like the way anal is used.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a bit anal about cleaning up everywhere.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You're quite fussy. You don't like things to be left on the floor. And how did your anus come into that again?
Well, it's Freud, isn't it?
Well, yes, and I'm sure all the people who use the term anal in that way know their Freud, like the image of their anus in a hand mirror, as they adopt the giving birth position, which is not something I've done since.
Really?
Since I was about.
Have you done that?
Since I was about 6.
To look at your arsehole?
No, I haven't.
You fucking have.
I haven't, not since I was about 6.
Right.
I think I did it.
Okay.
Well, maybe 7, maybe a bit older. Well, you know. When
This is probably what set you off.
No, I don't think so.
But no,
what
you don't.
what does it...
What number don't you like? You don't like 7, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But you know, I live in a very
7-centric universe.
Heptocentric.
Yeah.
World rather than universe. I'm going to say it's days of the week.
Yeah.
Deadly sins.
Yeah. Seas, continents.
Yes, hills. All those cities and places that claim to be built, like Rome's meant to be built on 7 hills.
Yeah.
And some of them are a bit...
7 brides for 7 brothers, that must be fucking murder to sit through. Mind you, it's murder to sit through anyway. It's why 7 then? Is there a reason, or is it just arbitrary?
What, brides and brothers?
No.
What?
You're Ed. Is there a reason why you don't like 7?
Ed? I thought Edu. I don't know.
Your fucking brain. Is there a reason why you don't like 7? Or is it just arbitrary?
Well, that's the nub crux.
It is arbitrary, is it? You don't know how it started, that.
Arbitrary suggests... Yes, arbitrary suggests sort of meaningless. Or that I've sort of chosen one at random. But again, it doesn't feel like a choice.
No,
yes, it arrives.
Sort of arrived, yeah.
So perhaps in a more extreme form, this is the sort of thing which in past times, and indeed in present times, you might get these small compulsions and ideas, but they're, if you're a 13th century, was it? 14th century French peasant girl, you might think, "Ooh, God wants me to go and lead an army."
Yeah.
But Joan, you can't do that. You're a girl and a medieval peasant. Well, assuming that in a few centuries,
Must have been bloody murder, mustn't it, to have stuff like this back in the day?
Well, but yes,
Which they must have done, right? I mean, it's not.
Oh, I don't think it's a phenomenon
that's modern,
born
is it?
of modernity.
No.
I mean, there are various forms of
yeah.
I suppose it just would have been called eccentricity.
I suppose. Yeah.
Samuel Johnson.
Yeah.
He had a ritual actually about when entering a new house.
Oh.
He would put his foot over the threshold.
Yeah.
And I think this was just when going into a house. He was all right coming out, but going into someone else's house, I think he would put his foot over the threshold and then back again a few times.
Oh, right.
And then pause, and with a sort of big jump, he'd go in.
Oh, right. So that's like you on the stairs, isn't it?
A little.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There we are. Because people individually and collectively do get rather... certain numbers do seem to have magical or special properties
sort of pass
assigned
me
to
by
them.
a bit.
Like 7.
Lottie has this thing where she it's like this synesthesia sort of thing.
Oh,
where she sees people or days of the week as colours and things like that.
Yes,
she's a bit odd.
It is. I mean, yes, and
but it's very clear to her. Well, Thursday's orange, Dad. Why?
Yeah,
it just is.
In what sense?
Yeah.
But yes, I suppose it's like we might talk about a certain sound or musical instrument sounding sparkly. So I suppose there's always a bit of that sense crossover.
Yeah, I suppose.
But when you get in that,
when you can see sort of.
I'm
days or something.
I'm hearing grey rainbows.
Yeah,
that was one I remember.
Oh, okay.
It was on something on Radio 4 about this, and this grown-up woman was talking about how she was when she was a child. She used to say things like that was, oh yes, I'm here, I can hear grey rainbows.
Right.
And it meant something quite specific to her.
Right.
It was probably the sound of and you know, and people would say, how sweet she's, these strange things kids say. But to me, it was quite literal. I was seeing grey rainbows.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting phenomena.
It's a bit like trying to describe flavours, isn't it? I mean,
which people do on wine programmes and whatever.
Well,
we don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about.
I do admire people who make a living
waffling on about wine.
About wine.
I mean, this one. Ooh, yes.
But writing about food in general must be quite...
Baby seals cooked in their own fear. Yeah.
Because it's quite, just writing about food with all the sort of food groups and food types.
Yeah.
But when it's just one drink, one drink type, wine.
Yeah.
He has notes, but they do, and people...
Notes of,
notes of this and under... notes and it's got subtle hints of it's like people who write about music.
Right. Well, that's at least a bit easier to pick apart.
A little bit, but again, like a sparkly
sound.
Wine.
This tastes a bit of wood chip on the walls or whatever.
With wood chip on the walls.
This has got an undertone of whale blubber. I mean. But even weirder when they sort of take things that aren't tastes or smells.
Do they? Oh, this has got notes of sadness.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
Or it's a very bold wine.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of body, but a certain shrinking modesty as it passes over the soft palate.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about fucking Teddy Boys and get it over with?
What?
Go on. You know you do.
Well, I just feel it's our duty to bring to a wider audience.
Yeah, go on.
Isn't it interesting the way the way popular culture, youth cults or fads or crazes, call them what you will, come and go.
Yeah,
and then come back again. Because when in the early 80s, when I was at school, I quite liked me Elvis. I tried to, get the old rockabilly quiff going,
which you've carried on.
And
since then.
I was mocked and derided for it. And, but I took a certain almost masochistic pride in it.
You're such a weird kid.
What?
You at 11 taking a masochistic pride in things.
Well, just with my hair done and when the cries of Elvis, I think I like Elvis.
God, is it any wonder you were getting picked on?
Well, no, it wasn't all that much.
No,
really.
Okay.
Looking back, I'm surprised I wasn't lynched. Once wore a red waistcoat to school in my first year.
Fucking hell, they must have thought you were a right twat.
And silk scarves and cravats and...
Have we talked about my fucking interview for Bretton Hall?
No, let's.
You know about it, don't you?
I've forgotten it though. No, do tell.
I had an interview for the university.
Did you have to audition? Was there an audition as
well?
It
was
as
the
an
audition,
interview?
yeah. It was an interview and an audition. I had to do a couple of pieces, which I'd learnt.
Was one a Shakespeare?
It was.
Was a Shakespeare and a modern?
It was Leontes, Winter's Tale.
Oh, because you quite like that.
I love that. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. Winter's Tale. Yeah. But I.
What was your modern?
I can't remember. Something from Amongst Barbarians or something. I think.
What's that?
Well, that's us bollocks, didn't it? Nicely bollocks. It was in that voice.
Amongst Barbarians.
Amongst Barbarians.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was like the barbarians of a monk.
You're a fucking idiot.
Amongst barbarians. Hello, my name is Friar Peter, and these are my barbarians, as I call them. Yes, but I'm teaching them the word. I'm teaching them to read and to believe.
Yes,
because the word.
Your sonic dyslexia.
The word and the flesh. Anyway, carry on.
Has come to bite you. All right, Evelyn Waugh,
carry on.
down.
Carry on with your little story.
Fucking arsehole.
So, amongst ourselves.
Right.
I mean,
And so I was adamant to my mum that I wanted to go in jeans and my Smiths t-shirt.
Why was this?
Well, because, you know, I was into the Smiths and wanted to go dressed as myself. My mum was not having it and said, Dave, it's an interview. You've got to go dressed appropriately.
Were there instructions, though, in
no.
coming
there
to
was
your...
no dress code. No, nothing. So, we got, or my mum bought for me, some brown brogues and a cream suit. So I look
like Martin Bell.
I look like the man from Del Monte. So I was in these brown brogues, cream suit, got there.
Hang on, was it 3-piece?
Yeah.
You had a waistcoat
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. I look
a tie?
Yeah, I look like a right twat.
Bow tie?
No, not fucking hell. I drew the line there.
Wing
Bow tie.
Wing collar?
Turned up. Guess what everyone else in the interview was wearing?
Smith's t-shirts and jeans?
Yes, exactly that.
Casuals.
Yeah. Well, t-shirts and jeans. Oh. Yeah. But I reckon... I do wonder, looking back, maybe that, you know, it made me memorable.
Yeah.
In an audition, they might think, oh, what about that fucking idiot in the Del Monte
cream suit? Yeah, he's obviously
up his own arse, thinks he's great, you know.
That's just the sort of person we want to hear. He'll fit in with the rest of the acting profession. He'll have no trouble talking about himself endlessly in interviews.
I was mortified that I was in a cream suit.
Didn't you sort of get a peek from a distance and quickly could have, off with the jacket, and looked a bit cash?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I was sat there feeling like a right twat. Oh. But, you know, I did all right.
Were you really surly with your mum afterwards? Did you tell her?
Yeah, I did tell her, yeah. They were all in bloody Smith t-shirts and jeans, Mum. Oh, well. Oh.
But then when you got in, did she say, well, I told you so.
I told you need to look like a twat to get in there, didn't I?
Body form for you.
Shape for confidence.
Made for confidence. Made for comfort. Made for cunt. I think they should have reclaimed the word, ladies.
Yeah,
I would.
Could have done. Right, come on, get on.
What?
Fucking youth culture.
Youth, yes. I'm just saying. But I mean, that was a thing, wasn't it? I mean, even mud. Mud.
50s, yeah.
Slade.
Yeah.
But Slade. I mean, as someone put it, Slade with all the, they put all the sequins on and the makeup and the hair and still looked, as one article I read put it, still looked about as camp as a fist fight in a pork scratchings factory.
Right, go on. Fucking youth culture. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Fucking Teddy Boys, go. Teddy Boys.
Teddy Boys, they were a very British movement.
Yeah.
I don't think... I took a lot of inspiration from America. And, of course, a lot of things were happening simultaneously. What we think of as the Teddy Boy hairstyle, the rockabilly quiff.
The one you're still sporting.
And that, touch wood, the old, there we are. Of course, the young Elvis Presley, James Dean.
Yeah.
That the Teddy Boy hairstyle was, in a way,
if you're still listening to this, you're a fucking saint.
An exaggeration of that,
right?
And yet, presumably, Elvis Presley in Tupelo, Mississippi, or Memphis, wasn't keeping up with fashions in among working class Londoners.
No.
Where would he have got the information?
I don't know.
Possibly there were fashion magazines.
So there were Teddy Boys around in the 50s, yeah, and then there was a bit of a Teddy Boy revival, which I think is what you're incredibly slowly coming to.
Well, not immediately,
right?
I mean, there's
of course not. You fucking twat! It's a revival. It's going to be the next week, is it?
Well, the Teddy Boys, I think they were established just before rock and roll. Yes, in a TV series called Get Some In, which came out in the mid-1970s.
Yeah.
No, that's a bit of a digression.
Yeah, fucking hell, Christ, it must have been bad if you're stopping yourself.
And then...
Right, so you saw something on Pebble Mill.
Well, you're shooting way ahead, man.
No, we need to.
You're jumping
We've
several
got to get
guns.
to the point.
So that rock and roll, by the early 60s, I suppose Teddy Boys looking a bit out. It was all mods and rockers and mods.
Yeah.
The rockers, the leather, the black, the mods in the nice...
Yeah.
Motors, no, scooters. wasn't
Scooters,
it?
yeah,
Scooters,
Vespers, isn't it?
Vespers, isn't it?
Yeah, down at Brighton Beach.
Brighton, and Margate. And, but then now, of course, some people stuck with it, with the Teddy Boy fashion. Some people didn't, ditch their winkle pickers and brothel creepers and bright neon socks.
Yeah.
Drainpipe trousers, frock coats, fancy waistcoats, bootlace ties, and so on.
Yeah.
They carried on with it. But then by the early 70s, mid 70s, there was a mood of 50s nostalgia,
right?
Which went in
Grease
with
and so on.
Grease. Well, in 1979, there were Joe Brown of Joe Brown and the Brothers. The Brothers.
Yeah.
Now he'd been around. He's one of the original English rock and rollers.
Yeah.
And in 1979, by which time the Teddy Boy revival, I suppose, was easing off a bit.
Joe Brown
wrote and performed. I assume he wrote it.
It's so nice of him to take the blame. Yeah.
And there's a marvellous clip on YouTube.
By marvellous, you mean embarrassingly awful.
It is rather. Well, there's something. It's so. The lyrics don't make a great deal of sense. It's a sort of, musically, it's a sort of, cod worked up rock and roll, 12 bar.
The sort of thing you could knock off in about half an hour. Yeah. Tell us how it goes. Give us an idea.
It's very odd. It's a sort of tribute. It's his tribute to the ones who never gave up on being Teddy Boys, who stuck with the fashion through thick and thin. It starts with something like, who's got a certain walk? He looks just like a motorway crow. A motorway crow?
What's that mean?
I don't know. Crows on the motorway don't last long, I would imagine. Ooh, where's the creepers and the drain pipes and the frock coats and the bootlace ties? Ooh, and he gets quite aggressive. Ooh, where's the bootlace ties? I'll tell ya! And then it builds up to this rousing chorus of it's a Teddy Boys, the do-do-do, and a do-do. Have you got them there?
No, of course I haven't.
Come on.
People don't fucking know this song.
It's called...
the Ted song.
The Ted song, right?
Yeah, the lyrics are not online, Will.
Just put the Ted song lyrics.
Well, done it, you stupid fucker.
Bet you haven't. I found them.
You fucking didn't.
I fucking did.
The video is here of Joe Brown doing it, but there's no lyrics, mate.
There might be...
There's no lyrics at all.
The Ted song, Joe Brown.
I hope you've fucking come a cropper now and realised that I've already looked.
I've seen them, mate.
You haven't.
I've seen them.
You fucking haven't. Then what happens, innit?
Oh, and then all those dancers come on.
Right.
It's a sort of affectionate sonic tribute.
It's awful.
Who's got a way of talking? Just like he runs the show. Who's got a way of walking? Looks like a motorway crow. Who kept rock and roll music alive for all these years' time? Bootlace tie. Who's got a bootlace tie? Boys.
Oh, it's so bad, Will. Right, why have we spent fucking half an hour talking about that shit?
Well, you asked for it.
I did, yeah, to be fair. Right, I was going to give you a little test on Norfolk dialect. See what you think things mean.
Oh, that'd be quite amusing.
Fucking hell.
Hang on, how do I know this is real Norfolk dialect and not just stuff you've made up?
That would be great, wouldn't it?
What is a girdle smuncher?
That is a West Country accent.
Yeah, now that's one thing I still haven't got. I know you've tried to explain it, but how does the East Country...
Right, West Country's like that, or it's got a growl in it, and like that.
A growl?
A growl, like a pirate. Rawr.
Well, now, and how do you distinguish a...
Norfolk is more sing-songy. It's more like that.
More like that?
More gentle, no.
More gentle?
Yeah.
And
that's better, yeah.
Don't they have the intrusive R's as well?
No, they don't. They don't.
How do they say B-A-R-N?
Barn?
Yeah, they don't say barn.
No, they say barn.
Barn. Sure there's not a bit of a barn?
Down the barn. No, there's no R. That's the thing. That's what's the difference.
Going down the barn.
The barn. You all right, boy?
So it's like a sort of R-deprived West Country accent.
Yeah, if you like.
Like that. If you like.
If you like.
Does I become oi?
Yeah, it's more like, oh, go you on. What are you talking about, boy?
Go you on.
Then we'll keep you on troshin'. It's like that.
Keep you on troshin'.
Keep you on a troshin'.
Keep you on a troshin'.
I'll get to that in a minute.
That means on a steady course of action.
Go you on. What do you think that means?
Go you on?
Go you on.
Get on with you?
Yeah.
Go on. You're having a laugh.
Yeah, you're pulling my leg, yeah.
Pulling my leg. Go on.
Go you on.
And the Cockney gone.
Never heard that.
As in My Fair Lady.
Slightly camper, please.
Gone.
Right, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bishy Barney Bee.
Bishy Barney Bee.
Yeah. What's that?
I would say that means he is...
It's a kind of animal. I'll give you that. It's an insect. A Bishy Barney Bee.
A Bishy Barney Bee?
Yeah.
An insect? Bishy Barney Bee. Oh, it's a bee. A bumblebee.
That would be such a fucking roundabout way of saying bee. That's a ladybird, Will.
A ladybird?
Ladybird.
Bishybird.
Bishy
Why are you
bee.
having to look these up?
Because they're just a memory thing for me. I do remember them, obviously. A dicky.
A dicky?
Yeah.
A child's penis. Until you reach puberty and it becomes a dick.
That is a donkey, darling.
A dicky.
A dicky.
It just sounds like childish approximations of actual
Dodman?
words. A dodman.
Yeah.
Dodman.
This is another little mollusk.
I was going to say, does it just mean a corpse? Or a male corpse? Oh, he's a dardman. or an undertaker.
No.
Comes and deals with the dog.
It's a little mollusk.
Spider.
That's not a mollusk. A fucking arachnid, isn't it?
I'm not clear on what a mollusk is, actually.
It's a snail.
Ah.
Right.
Oh.
A dodman.
A dodman.
Dodman. Fumble-fisted. That's easy.
Oh, cack-handed?
Yeah.
Clumsy.
Yeah, yeah. He's a bit fumble-fisted, boy. Yeah, goo you on. Obviously, that's here. A gazunder.
A gazunder. Someone who works in tunnelling. Because he goes under.
It's a chamber pot.
Oh, because it goes under the bed.
Goes under the bed.
A gazunder.
A gazunder. All right, we're getting there, boy. Hang on. Well, obviously, who do you hard?
Who do you hard?
Who do you hard?
Well, hug you tight.
Told you hard, boy.
Oh, calm down.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Hang on.
Hold you hard. Oh, like a hoard.
Hold you hard. Hold you hard.
Hold still.
But we say hold. We don't say hold.
Hold.
Hold you hard, boy.
Mm.
There's no need to pull that fucking smug cunt of a face at me.
It's all this we don't say that. We, me and my people, my tribe.
This is what we're doing, isn't it?
Me and my fellow Norfolkers.
Well, yeah. Lummocks, well, that's a general word, isn't it? That's not just Norfolk, that, is it?
Is that sort of oaf?
Clove,
Clumsy,
yeah. Clumsy oaf.
You're great lummocks.
You're great lummocks, yeah. Titamatorda.
No idea. Titamatorda.
Titamatorda. Something you might find in a child's playground. Titamatorda.
Ah. Do you know the etymology of any of these?
No, but this one's fairly obvious. Titamatorda.
What? Titamatorda? What?
Titamatorda.
How is that? What? A thing of the floor?
Titamatorda. Come on, what do you think it is?
A a thing that I taught her?
No.
A thing
It's,
that
it's something you find in a playground.
Oh, I thought that was what it meant.
No.
A thing you would find in
The
a
playground, tittle-matorta.
I thought it meant like, sweet wrappers or broken toys or abandoned shoes or something. A tittle-matorta. A roundabout. A seesaw.
Seesaw, yeah.
Tittle-matorta, yes.
That sort of makes sense, doesn't it?
Sort of, yeah.
Right. Do you keep a trashin?
Do you keep a trashin?
Do you keep a trashin?
Oh, is the do you is telling you, is the imperative.
Yeah.
Do you...
It's not a question.
Do you tittle-matorta? No, what was it?
do you keep a trashin?
Keep a troshin. You keep a troshin. Trying?
It's threshing.
Oh,
so it means
threshing,
like sort of keep safe, keep well.
Oh, keep what? Don't.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Oh, right. Sounds more like don't neglect your duties. Don't keep putting off the threshing, otherwise you'll have nothing to eat come winter time.
That picture's on the huh.
On the huh? What?
Wonky, yeah.
Wonky.
Is that a Norfolk thing?
On the huh.
On the huh.
How is huh spelled?
H-U-H. I'm trying to think if I can get you to speak in a Norfolk accent.
Well, I'm sure I could if it was...
No, you're doing West Country.
If it was necessary.
I think...
West Country.
Bear. And that can be beer.
Oh, have a bear.
Yeah.
So how would you
Do
say...
you want a bear?
So how would you say bear?
Well, you'd say it like that. Bear.
B-E-A-R.
Yeah. And also bear, mean naked.
B-A-R-E.
Bear.
So it's all bear.
I saw a bear drinking a bear.
There's a fascinating interview on...
Well, there you go, folks. That was our primer course in how to speak Norfolk. Right. Will, have we got a guest today, did you say?
Well, we have two.
Ooh. Aren't we spoiled? Are both of them annoying or just one?
Ian is here.
Should we get him out of the way first?
I think we better, yes. He I don't know if he's...
my fucking head in.
I don't know, he seems to... Well, see what you think.
Have they split up?
Oh no, far from it. He doesn't think they have... Anyway, I'll let him speak for himself. Okay.
In you come, Ian. You're all right, mate. Have a seat.
Hi.
How you doing?
Well, it's pretty amazing times, really.
I'm annoyed already. Go on.
Pretty goddamn amazing. That's okay. Anything that you, if that's where you're coming from, then that's okay. Own it, You've got to own it. This is what I've... anyway...
He's turned into bliss.
Sorry?
You've turned into bliss. You're saying things that bliss says.
When you're with someone for as long as we have, and when you're as involved with someone as long as we have, you do start to pick up, ways of talking.
Right.
You have your own sort of almost like a private language, but as I was saying,
can it stay that way?
It's not a private language. It's a universal language. The language of love.
Oh boy, go on, Ian. Yeah.
Well, the latest plans and projects, things have kind of roller coastered and snowballed. So the ball has got so big that you basically need an Olympic-sized swimming pool to contain it.
Okay. What are you talking about?
The basic idea, okay, our basic idea. Okay, what is the most important thing in history? What changes history?
Conflict.
But why do conflicts happen?
Territory. Pathetic
Territory.
Lack of mental evolution that's left us in this position where we war over pieces of land that nobody actually owns.
Yeah, but if you take a more positive approach to it, if you look at the the progress that
you're going to say love, aren't you?
I was going to say what?
Love, aren't you?
It's even bigger than that.
Bigger than love.
It's even bigger than that. It's ideas.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, having wars and all this, but somebody had to have the idea of an army.
Yes.
an army that, you say, I want that bit of land, somebody else wants that bit of land. What do?
Yeah.
Okay, you fight over it. Well, no, somebody thought, okay, I'll organise some
some chaps.
So you have,
I don't think they did. I think it just sort of grew out of some sort of tribal system. But yeah, go on.
Well, yeah, but exactly. That tribal system had to have an idea behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to just say yes to everything you say.
It's like conceptualisation. The basic idea. Well, I've got to say it's Bliss's idea, but she's letting me be a part of it. It's kind of our family. It's our child.
Oh God, you're not having a real child, are you?
No, not as far as I know.
Thank God for that.
It's our sort of heaving, thrusting, thrashing about in our cocoon of love.
Right.
Basically, ideas are the real product. They're not just the product; they're the currency. Okay, we think of it as the oil of the future.
I've got a really bad feeling that we're going to have one of those conversations where we get 10 minutes into this and I still don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay, you will.
Okay.
I can put it...
Is there something concrete here?
It's concrete.
Right.
It's plaster. It's varieties of cement.
Go on.
No, the big idea.
Yeah.
What we're working on now, the basic thing, you've heard of, Elon Musk.
Yes.
His idea of an everything app.
No.
Yeah, well, that was one of his ideas. It hasn't come to fruition yet, and we are absolutely not in competition with Elon Musk.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bliss has basically had the even bigger vision, or the even bigger idea. So what we're working on now is basically the ultimate app. It's the app that will be the only one you'll need, because it will contain and imply all apps and all needs. It's kind of all to do with AI as well, artificial intelligence.
Yes, I know what AI is. Can you just show me some actual intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
This app is going to be organic. It will use elements of AI. And so, Bliss could basically become the richest person in the world to infinity. She could, but she's not going to do that. No, she's going to do it the Tim Berners-Lee way. Okay, she's going to say, here it is. That's it. She's obviously going to make, she's going to...
How is she going to do that? What experience does she have in this field?
Okay. Her inspirations, the ideas for this Omni idea, the ultimate app development, the Wall Street crash, the collapse of communism, the sinking of the Titanic. Okay, but just think of it the other way. The incredible amounts of energy generated by disaster.
Yeah.
If you control the disaster and just make sure that everything is channeled into the right direction, basically, omnidirectional, but it's the direction that's important. It's the ways to harness it.
Harness what?
Harness the energy of human potentiality.
Fuck off.
Basically, no, this is absolutely not a load of new agey hyper-capitalist bullshit.
It sounds like it.
It absolutely is
right,
not.
Prove to me that it isn't.
We've been working on names for this app.
Whoa.
What?
Back up.
What?
How is Bliss making this app? What does the app do?
Well,
what experience does she have of making apps?
Bliss has the ideas. She works with the engineers, the nuts and bolts guys.
And who are they?
The software engineers, the hardware engineers, the firmware engineers.
Yeah.
This is, and you're going to ask me about capitalisation, aren't you?
No, I'm going to ask you what it does. What does it do?
Seeding. It will do anything,
What do you mean anything?
Anything, everything, and nothing. Because some people want nothing. So that's their anything.
I could make an app that did nothing.
So that's their anything. Now we've been working on.
Fucking hell.
We've been kind of brainstorming possible names for the app. We thought of the Supreme app or SAP. It's maybe not what we want. The General app or GAP or JAP, but we don't want to get into the whole
Please.
ethnic sensitivity.
Yeah.
I favour the System Totalisation Rendition app or STRAP. Then, of course, there's the Complete Radical app, or, well, I think that would be good.
Yeah. I'd go for that one.
But we don't. So, I mean, a project on this scale, even with Bliss's immense resources and her family's immense resources, we're still going to have to go for some basic venture capital seed funding. So what? I can't believe I'm saying this.
Are you on his shilling for something?
Huh?
Are you on his shilling for something? You're going to try and get our blessed listeners to fucking send you some money on Kickstarter or something?
Well, Bliss did say that she thought you might try to sort of downgrade it in this way, and her advice was, bring it on. It's okay. I think I've said enough now that if the listeners don't get to hear it all.
Honestly, I think the listeners will be as bewildered as I am by what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'd need to see it to understand it, I think.
Well, basically, the way we're funding this, the way we're capitalising this, I'm not sure of the exact... Anyway, Bliss explained it all to me.
Yeah.
And...
I think I preferred you when you wanted to join Bestostérone.
She's basically reinventing money.
Oh, fuck off.
Because money... Come on, man. Money is one of those big ideas that we don't even think of as ideas. This is money not in the form of a share, not in the form of hard currency, not even in the form of credit notes or...
right, I get it.
Okay.
What is it in the form of?
What it is, we haven't really got a name for it. It'll probably be it'll probably be an acronym.
Don't need a name. What is it?
But we are offering these shares. So if any listeners...
I thought you said they weren't shares.
Well, we're calling them shares for want of another thing. This is a kind of financial revolution, financial visionary. In a way, it's the it's the economic equivalent of Calvinism. or the Enlightenment.
Right. How?
Or the wheel.
What is it?
Okay. What it's...
fucking hell.
They're called, well, these are economically innovative funding methods. The best one we've come up with so far are innovative free-form funding yields, or IFFY for short. Bliss's family is providing help, advice, general support. Ideas are the true driving forces of history. So invest now. Go to the website.
But I thought you said you...
I haven't got the... but, if you want to be on the website. on the next... well, we're kind of reinventing the internet as well. But it's
what?
It's going to be... Well, I'm not sure about that. Maybe not. We'll work with the internet as it is.
You don't sound like you're inventing anything.
Well,
you're saying we've reinvented money, but you haven't invented money. You want people to invest. What are they investing with? String?
Well, they're going to invest with money.
Right.
And what they'll get is going to be iffy. Okay, I'll see you on the other side of the revolution.
Yeah, thanks, Ian.
Bye now.
Fucking hell. Yeah, okay. Have we got another guest coming? Is there another guest through there, Ian?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Will. You're back. Have we got another guest, did you say?
Yeah, I'm not sure about Ian. I have sort of said I'll go along to a meeting.
Why have you said that?
Well, he was very nice about it, and
he's fucking deluded. What is he talking about?
Well, he's offered me a stay in a place in the Ritz Hotel in London.
Who's paying for it?
Oh, he is. It's all paid for up front, but apparently there'll be one of his lawyers there and one of his accountants. Well, not his, but who are involved in all this. It does sound rather interesting.
It doesn't, Will.
He said it'll be like like a chain letter or a pyramid scheme, but it actually works.
I'm less convinced. Right, did you say we had another guest?
Yes,
Because we're quite replete with guests this week. That's nice.
Well,
I say this week like we do this every week. This quarter.
I don't know if 2 counts as repletion.
Well, we normally only have 1.
Yeah.
So who's the other guest we've got coming in?
Oh, well, as this has been the love edition.
Has it?
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Massacre.
Yeah. St. Valentine's edition. I thought to get a philosophical view of love. So, with us today is Professor I.F. Snare, who holds the Ambiguous Chair of Practical and Theoretical Philosophy at the University of Beckenham.
Okay. Is he coming in?
Yes.
So, hello.
Hello.
Professor Snare. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Sorry, you wanted to talk to us about love, I believe.
Well, I thought it was rather the other way around. You wanted me to talk about love. That was what I was
led
to believe.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, you said I wanted to talk to you about love.
Okay, all right.
Which I do. It's quite a it's a mutual two-way desire.
Fire away.
Yes, well, love hasn't really been a part of the philosophical enterprise for quite a while, really. Certainly not in the 20th century. Largely, I would say, due to the positivist movement, which, for better or worse, has led to a shall we say, a distrust of the subjective, without which, of course, nothing, because the subjective is, obviously, the thought is by its nature subjective. The verification principle did try to get this sorted out, but as there's nothing essentially demonstrable about love, they have to take they occupy the same part of the philosophical project as ethics and I would say religion. That would be the if you would say a statement such as "I believe in God" is of the order of either a command or an expression of an emotion, of the same order of statements such as "I am hungry," "I feel strangely aroused," or "I have an unaccountable desire to eat an entire packet of fruit salads or blackjacks, which come upon us quite often. So yes, philosophers really keep out of this business in a way. Statements about love may seem to be, in strictly positivist terms, without meaning, in that they cannot be verified. If we look at what philosophers of the past have had to say about love, I don't know if there's a great deal we can do with it. There was, of course, if we're talking about romantic and sexual love in the sexual and or romantic sense, I wouldn't describe my love for football, for example, as sexual. For some people it may be. Lovely, sweaty, muscular young men running about, getting angry, and then all jumping into the bath together afterwards, and soaping each other down, flicking each other with towels as they get away. That maybe, but not. That is not. And of course, sexual love and romantic love. Well, the Venn diagrams overlap a little bit. There's, of course, it's in the symposium, is it? In which, it's Plato, but of course he has Aristophanes tell it, the parable of the origins of humanity's sexual dualism. Originally we were all
looking for one's other half.
We were all sort of spherical and had 8 limbs, and the genitals were in some unusual place. And then we became so powerful it started to challenge the gods, so to cut us down to size, size, as it were. He split everyone in two, so that we only had 4 limbs each, and the genitals were brought round to the front, and this was supposed to account not only for heterosexual pairing, but also for homosexuality of the male and female kinds. Now, I mean, that's the sort of rubbish you get if you ask philosophers about love, let alone any advice about love. I mean, there's this still quite a common belief that philosophy is concerned with the right way of living, the good mode of existence, the true form of being. People assume that we philosophers have all the answers. Now, I must accept that this has been brought upon us by some of the most esteemed philosophers. I mean, Socrates and Plato were always telling people how to live, how to improve their mental attitude. And look at Socrates. He didn't even have the common sense to eat a bit of humble pie to avoid being sentenced to death. I mean, that's an advertisement for pragmatism, if ever there was one. And look at Diogenes. Lived in a barrel, urinated, defecated, masturbated, and pontificated in public. Well, yes, he's just the sort of person to go to for dating advice. So people talk about being philosophical. In sense, what they really mean is being brave and uncomplaining, which was what the Stoics claimed to be. But I mean, if you're indifferent to success and failure, pleasure and pain, life and death, then you might as well be dead, which is not a good conversation topic for a first date, as has been repeatedly proved. So you can analyse, explain love to the nth degree and still end up lonely, drunk and too jaded even for a wank over punished in panties. Sometimes I wonder why I bloody well bother.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Snare.
That's all quite all right.
Thank you. It's been lovely to meet you. I look forward to being equally bewildered the next time you're speaking.
Absolutely. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, and the only trouble with most of what I've just said, I suppose, is it was nearly all false. But of course, that's a problem with any philosophical discourse. That's what Hegel was on about, I think.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, there you go, folks. Hello, Will.
Hello. Well, yes.
Well, there you go.
I think we need an eclectic spread of voices.
Yeah.
As well as
at least the second one sounded like he knew something. Right, shall we say farewell?
Yes. Do we have a way of doing that? Do we do that in unison?
No, I don't know. No, not normally.
No.
We'll just say
it's been a blast.
It's been an absolute blast.
It's been a blast.
Keep you on a trashing.
Oh, yes, and ooh-ar.
Wanker.